I guess we're starting with Fitbit Air.
Yeah.
In that case, you guys already know we put the review out of the Fitbit Air. Marques has got his orange one. That's the Steph Curry special edition.
Sure do.
So does Adam. His came in yesterday, his retail unit. It is much nicer than the other options that you can buy. For some reason, the material is nicer. It is water resistant, whereas the other ones are not water resistant.
Wait, you're saying the Steph Curry one is water resistant?
Correct.
And the others are not?
Correct.
I think
Really?
you found...
Yeah. They get it has a water resistant coating on it, whereas the other ones
Even
do
the
not.
ribbed ones?
The ribbed ones are water resistant.
Oh, okay.
But what do they call this? The
The performance one.
performance
Gotcha.
band. Yeah, they're not water resistant. They can get wet and they can soak.
Huh.
I see it.
I thought it was just a
Yeah,
colorway.
you said that yours felt like wet after working
Yeah,
out.
it still definitely gets damp and holds moisture after a workout.
Okay.
So I'm kind of, I'd be surprised to see if that was even
I mean,
worse
but look
than
at this. Yours has a bunch of rubber on the inside.
Yeah,
This one
that
does
one doesn't
not.
have any.
It's literally just
Oh.
the fabric.
So that's going to be worse.
Yeah,
It's
and
not
it,
necessarily water resistant, probably just feels less wet.
well, on the website it says that one's water resistant and this one isn't. It said it has a water resistant coating on the Steph Curry version.
On the threads.
Someone
Wow.
should test that.
That's what it says. Well, okay, so we have a lot of thoughts because last week we had not yet passed the actual review embargo. We had only passed the unboxing embargo, which was very vague, to be clear. This has been a problem for many years where companies will have multiple embargoes and people just sort of push the line of what it means for something to be a review.
Yep.
Famously, like Tom's Guide and Gadget and whatever would call things hands-on review when it was a hands-on video to sort of get around the no reviews yet thing.
Yeah, I could do an hour and a half on this.
Yeah. Yeah.
I won't to spare you, but
TLDR, it dumb.
we can.
It's dumb.
Yeah, you can check the feeds and you can see lots of not quite a review, but almost kind of a review videos out there.
Yeah.
But the reviews are out now.
Yeah, the actual review embargo was Tuesday at 9 a.m. Eastern time. So now we can actually talk about our full thoughts about the Fitbit Air.
We can evaluate it.
We can evaluate it, of which I have many, many, many thoughts. The first being, it is incredibly ironic to me that this is both a really, really good device and a really, really buggy device. And my overall take on this, which we'll dive into, is that the premium features that you get with Google Health Premium actually make this product worse.
Worse is an interesting take.
That's my take.
Definitely an argument to be made that it is not necessary for most people, but make it worse is I want to hear your take on
I
that.
think it's worse.
I saw other reviewers maybe not say exactly like that, but basically hint at DC Rainmaker used his info and his wife used the free, he used the premium, and he kept pulling them up next to each other and basically kept saying he likes the feed of his wife's better because it doesn't have so much talky.
Yeah, I think a big part of this, and this is what I talked about in my review, is the target demographic. What it comes down to is who this is for. And I think this specific Fitbit, the Fitbit Air, is targeted at Whoop users or a lot of people who use other screenless fitness trackers, right? And it's supposed to be the one that's cheaper, and it's the one that's from Google, and it's Fitbit, so you know what you get from Google. But it's specifically the cheaper version of what's already out there with the screenless fitness trackers. And I think a lot of those are probably overkill for most people as far as all the data and all the tracking and the extremely expensive subscription. So this being cheaper and offering 90% of that is slightly less advanced, but for almost the same person.
Right.
You're wearing an Apple Watch right now, so am I.
Yeah.
This, I would argue, is even more beginner focused. You just kind of count steps, calories, and fill your rings, and that's it. It's not personalized. Your heart rate zones are the same for everyone, no matter your age. There's not a lot of calibration to who you are as an athlete. It's just kind of get up every hour. Stand up.
Yeah.
Get some exercise minutes in. So there's a spectrum of who these products are for.
Yeah.
And this I think it fits in somewhere in the middle.
Well, there's a strange reason for that because I feel like the Apple Watch, especially the Ultra, pulls more information than the Fitbit Air pulls, but the actual information that it shows you on a day-to-day basis and tries to get you to interact with is much less. Because Apple started with the Apple Watch being a gadget, and it slowly became a fitness device.
Exactly.
They didn't anticipate that to happen, but over time they're oh, the Apple Watch is actually just a fitness tracker, but it is also a watch. Mm-hmm. So the thing about the Fitbit Air that's interesting is, like you said, it's people who aspire to be Whoop people, because Whoop people sort of indicates that you are a hardcore fitness person. But those people, it might be inaccessible for those people because the minimum subscription of a Whoop is $200 a year. Mm-hmm. and then it becomes a brick if you don't pay for it, which
Yeah.
is actually insane.
It's the worst part.
So the thing about the Fitbit Air, if you use the base Google Health app, which is what they call it now, they transitioned Fitbit to Google Health. A lot of people are very angry about that because it was a buggy transition for a lot of people.
Surprise.
I saw all these tweets this morning of people who lost all of their data, all of their Fitbit data, like didn't make the transition.
Or like runs just showing up as workouts and not runs.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of random
The
bugs.
data just got really messed up. So in the base Google Health app, it just shows you all of your metrics, right? It collects things like your steps, your cardio load, your sleep, like all of that information. And then the base Google Health app, it just shows all that data front and center. If you have the premium version of the app, what the premium version does is, honestly, I feel like Google should pay you to use the premium version because they just stick Gemini in as many places as possible. And not only do they stick it there as an option to use, they just generate summaries of every single thing that you do. So on the front page, like the main tab, there's always a giant block of text.
Yeah, this reminds me of the new like Nest AI update where I wanted the AI update because it would, in individual events, make it easier to search for things. But every time I go to my cameras, there's like 4 paragraphs that I have to scroll past. And like, I don't want that. I don't need to read about this every time. Maybe let me pick to read it. But this looks terrible with like nice clean UI on top with a couple buttons and then just text.
That was going to be my take too, is that I don't not like the AI coach. Like it's cool. It's fun to play with. It's like relatively useful, maybe not in the grand scheme of things, but like just for me messing around, whatever.
I'm sure.
I wish it was a separate tab. Like why is it front and center?
Or if it was truncated,
Yeah,
and
like
you could
if-
expand it.
If I open up my app, I just want to see all of my like data.
If you
Front and
pay the $100 though, you want to see what you paid $100 for front and center, right?
No, I want to know it's there. I don't want to necessarily see it all the time.
If it's the free version and you don't have it, sure, you're not going to notice that you don't have it. But if you pay the $100 a year, I want to see that like pretty early.
I think it's safe to say that like you though could be someone who wants to ask the AI coach questions and then help that in some senses, like create a workout, blah, 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 but don't always want it in your like quick, like this feels like it should be the homepage should be like a quick glance at things. So like under this is workouts, right?
You're stealing the words right out of my mouth. Andrew.
Goodness,
That first
I
page
can't
should be
even-
glanceable.
Yeah,
It should
it's
be
not-
glanceable. This is not a glanceable text. So I feel like
You can customize this, by the way. You can make this 6 things.
this, but like
Yeah, but
underneath it usually then tracks,
Yeah.
shows your individual workouts that you can click into,
The
right?
top 40% is glanceable. The bottom 40% is like all the coach information that it
Like I think that
distills for
could
you.
be or at least an option to be a separate tab. Like I would probably just want to see my workouts and quickly go into them, but I could see some benefit of still contacting the coach and asking questions and having a chat log.
I use it all the time.
Based
I
on
like
things.
it.
I
just
mean,
wish
I
it wasn't
wouldn't
right
use
in the
it,
main
but-
page.
Yeah. The main page feed of it yapping all the time
Yeah.
feels insane.
One of the biggest problems I have with the Gemini integration as the coach, though, is that it feels like the coach, like the Gemini coach, it has access to the data that it collects, but it doesn't always look at it. So, for example, at like 5 p.m., it was like, are you still going to hit your 10 a.m. workout? Of which I had already done. It didn't have that information. It asked me if I was going to go on a long walk when I'd already gone on a long walk. It like randomly set a random number of calories that I had eaten that was not the amount of calories that I'd eaten ingested into the app.
Yeah.
And there are all these metrics that you can look at in the app and you can see the data is right there, but Gemini doesn't seem to pull that data all the time. It does it like randomly and sometimes, but it doesn't do it like correctly every time. And then sometimes it just hallucinates information.
Does Fit had
Very
an
weird.
instance where it has the information on what his bedtime was, and then 20 minutes after his bedtime was sending him tips on how to get better sleep that night for better recovery. It's like, I'm asleep already. This is past the bedtime that's listed inside of the app that you're pulling from.
Yeah. And then I don't know. So multiple times throughout the day, the Gemini coach will give you little summaries of things that you've done.
Just notifies you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it happens so much. Like I went on a 19-minute walk to the coffee shop and it was like, that 19-minute walk was so great, David. I didn't set a walk or anything. It just automatically created a summary. And it was like, you slowed down around minute 10. Did you hit a red light? And I'm like, I walked to the cafe. I do not see why I need a summary of this or why you need me to explain myself. It's very strange.
I think there's a middle ground. Like all these features with the coach are very like beginner focused. I think where a lot of people see all this data, but they don't know how to interpret it. A lot of people look at the Apple Health app, which is full of data, tons and tons of information that's being gathered by your Apple Watch, and then don't really know what to do with that information or how to contextualize it or even know if that number is high or low or if it's trending up or down or what should I do with this. So the idea of the coach or the AI coach or the summaries and all this stuff is to give you some actionable something based on the information that it's collecting. It's not very good yet. AI still hallucinates. We still want it to be way better, but that's the idea behind it. And I think for us, it's probably not targeted towards us. We've used Garmin's, we've used Apple Watches, we know what we're doing with a lot of this stuff.
Yeah.
But for the very beginner who's just like, I don't know, I've been closing my rings for a while, but should I be doing more steps per day? Should I be drinking more water? That's ideally what this is for.
I think a good middle ground to that, though, that would help my just glanceable aspect of this is, if that front page shows the metrics up top, then has the bottom part that would show workouts. If then it just had a button that's just like, that would trigger what you want from the coach. So like maybe at the top it says like, how's my day going so far? Or like, what should I prioritize tonight? How was my last workout? That would, because it's just taking up so much room to assume that every time you look at it, or 3 or 4 times a day, it's going to give you another wall of text.
Yeah.
That's, I think, my issue is like, I just don't need to see that text all the time. Give me a little button to press and like, that's when pop up AI coach. And
to Google's credit, when I was talking to them on the phone, I told them like, why do I need, a summary when I went on a 19-minute walk? And they said they don't want to tell people what exercise is, because to some people,
It's personalized.
To some people, a 2-hour walk is nothing. To some people, a 20-minute walk is something. So they don't want to necessarily be like, you didn't do exercise versus you did do exercise. And that's fair. And honestly, I think that Fitbits traditionally have sort of been geared towards like beginners who like want to get into fitness. But it's funny because like I feel like this is targeted towards the people who want whoops but don't want to pay the money for a whoop. So I feel like it should be a little more geared.
When I was first writing my review, I was like, this is like for people who are thinking about getting a whoop or who do have a whoop, but they really don't need one.
Yeah.
And this is way better for them and way less expensive for all of the 75% of the things that they were using the Whoop for. Now they're using 100% of the Fitbit and it's still fine.
Yeah.
I agree. I think there are a lot of Whoop users who are tired of paying all the time and kind of know you're going to get the same stats pretty much, but now you can pay once and not have to deal with it. The Whoop subreddit is a lot of people looking at the Fitbit right now.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. Some other crazy bugs that I had this is still occurring on my app, so waiting to be fixed. By the way, Google put out a roadmap of bug fixes yesterday on the day of launch.
That's a lot of bugs.
They probably should have fixed them before the launch or like, made the app work before they announced a launch date.
Probably.
But there's a lot of bugs. There's a lot of bugs on there. Anyway, this is what my workout...
That's still insane. Yeah, you're
It's
just like,
insane. They still look like this. For audio listeners, it's like
what workout is that?
literally just starting a strength workout.
Strength workout.
Any sort of workout that I do.
It gets worse as I look at it, and there's only 4 elements on the
So there's a gray rectangle in the center that only has 3 data points. One is cardio load, and it's giant. The other one is heart rate and energy burned, and they are not aligned at all. And then there's giant black boxes around it, and then the pause button is also sort of just randomly offset.
To me, this is a did you even test this? Mine looks fine when I start a strength workout,
Yes.
but for some reason, heart rate does not have a unit and energy burned does have a unit.
Well, because you don't have it
don't
on
have it
right
on
now.
right
It's
now.
probably-
No, it never does have a unit when I even when
Really?
Oh, really?
it never
Okay,
shows
that's
BPM.
just a
Oh,
bug.
mine does sometimes. Sometimes it doesn't show any of this information until I finish the workout, and then it gives me all the information. But it continuously has this problem, which is pretty
Yeah,
insane.
yours says energy burned, and the unit is like cut off by the UI of the pause button, which should be at the bottom.
Wait,
Yeah.
you don't have a timer on that at all. Marques has had a
Your
It says
timer is being covered up.
timer's
For
being
some
cut
reason, the
off.
bottom of your app is just totally messed up. I don't know why.
When I talked to them, they said they hadn't really tested it in dark mode,
well, there's the did you even test?
which is
We
the
got our
really. When they told me that, I was like, wow, okay,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
that screen
Yeah.
needs a heart rate zone.
I'm confused about why there's so many bugs for things like that because this has basically been out since like what, October or November in the Fitbit
beta.
public beta.
Yeah.
Like I've had this UI for months. So how does it still not?
I do not know.
I don't know.
It is
Yeah,
strange. It is strange.
See this. This is my. I'll take a screenshot for the pod listeners. The calories burned says calories and is slightly higher than the
that's-
heart rate, which should say
So yours is
BPM.
offset too.
So it's just a little bit offset. But I do have the time down there because the pause button is supposed to be at the
Yes,
bottom. Yours
yes.
is like moved up over the clock, which is weird.
yeah.
Well, and it's two different like dark mode backgrounds on David. It's like a gray and a black, which is super messed up.
Yeah,
This I don't mind this screen in general if dark mode worked.
If it was
Yeah, that
aligned
obviously needs to be aligned properly.
Yeah.
I would love the option to put a heart rate zone graph on
Yeah.
this. I feel like so many people appreciate that in terms of live
Certain types of
metrics.
workouts.
Yeah.
There's not as much customization. Like I think a lot of these should have more customized layouts for while you're working
This
out.
feels like a layout that is meant for customization. Like this is just
Yeah.
giving you so many options
It's
because
not
of
very
how
much
blank and
info.
simple it is.
Yeah. Other ways where Gemini just doesn't seem to be connected to your actual data that you're collecting. On the first day that I used this, I woke up and it sort of prompts you when you wake up. It tells you how you slept and then it says, "You planning anything for today?" And I said, "I'm going to go on a pretty long walk this morning." It said, "That's cool. Let me know how long the walk is when you get back." Which, first of all, shouldn't it just be tracking that? Kind of strange. So I was like, "Okay, I will." And I got back from my walk and I said, "That was 127 minutes." And it immediately is like, interesting. I see a 127-minute walk that I've already logged. Do you want me to delete it? I was like, but
It did that for me too.
so it feels like Gemini, the LLM, is like not really talking correctly to the data sets.
That is interesting. Yeah, a lot of my Gemini stuff is telling me it's based on the conversations that I've had with it. So I'd set up, I was like, here's my 7-day week schedule. I have like games on weekends, practice on Wednesdays. And it looks at the weather. It's like, hey, it's going to be hot today. You have practice later, hydrate. Like that stuff makes sense. But it's not, you're right. Like a lot of that's not coming from the workouts that I've already done.
The actual data that it collects on you.
Yeah.
I feel like another example of it focusing way more on the AI part and not on the data set. If you watch DC Rainmaker's review, at one point he like does a workout and jokingly sends a picture of like chips and queso and a glass of wine and says like, "Is this a good recovery?" Like testing. He's like, "Is this a good recovery meal?" And it was like, "No, nah." And then like after every single workout, it's like, "Oh, you'll do a great job getting those calories back with the queso and rosé tonight," and just keeps
Yeah.
mentioning it over and over. It like never forgets the things.
I want
you
to
tell
coin this like AI fixation or something because Gemini does this for me all the time anyway. And yesterday I ate a chicken burrito for lunch and I wanted to test the like food logging feature that it has because another one of the features with the premium subscription is that you can log food by taking pictures of it. It knows what it is. You can log
Famously
it.
never has worked ever with any product.
It works okay with Macro Factor, which is what I use for calorie tracking.
I'm impressed because I've never gotten it to work.
I'll never
really?
believe that any of those work on any.
It just
of those
doesn't have
apps.
enough-
It can't.
just
I mean,
from
it's
a-
a
never gonna.
burrito. It's closed. You can't see what's inside it.
I cut it open. I cut it open.
There's no.
and it could tell the size of the burrito and how much chicken
It's
was in
probably not accurate.
It's
a
not.
hard
It is
guess.
not accurate,
Yeah,
and
it's
that's
a hard
all a
guess. It's a
calorie
hard
tracker
guess.
is supposed to be as accurate.
One thing though
Yeah, fair.
that I think it would work with, and I want to test it out because I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
I saw that people have been able to like write down like their exercises, their weights, their reps in like on a piece of paper.
Yeah.
And take a picture of that, and
That
you can
sounds-
transfer
That does work.
That makes sense.
I don't know how you would do that when there's like 1,000 apps that do it, but
Yeah, but I was.
I guess some people do.
I
Some
don't
people
like
do.
using apps. Like
That's
I
fair.
just never do it. So.
That's fair.
There are a lot of people who have like workout notebooks, and then
Yeah.
just being able to log it with a picture actually sounds like a,
But
a great.
to the point about my chicken burrito, like I logged the chicken burrito with like the logging thing, and then for the next like 2 days, it was just like that chicken burrito is really fueling your recovery. It was like 2 days later, I was like,
It really locks in. It's like it's trying to impress you with it remembering.
that's,
something.
I think that's what it is.
yeah. And then yesterday, it ran at the end of the day. It was like, you did a great job. You had 117 grams of protein, and I had 157 logged. So I don't. It is just like there's random information that just
Like in the app said 157, but in the Gemini thing said 117.
no in the app it said 157, and then the Gemini prompt told me 117. I will give it to Fitbit. They do a really good job of ingesting information from other apps. So Apple Health on the iPhone, if you use the iPhone, Apple Health ingests information from Macro Factor, which is my like calorie tracking app, from Fitbod, which is my like workout app, and then Apple Health feeds into Google Health. So it actually has all of my calorie stuff. It has all that stuff, and that's really nice because everything is just built in there. But then it will just randomly hallucinate information
guess.
too. So yeah, I don't know. I think the main problem I see with this is that it just feels like Gemini and the data set are not a cohesive, like integrated thing. They seem like they're separate things, and it messes up a lot.
Yeah.
All of that being said, I still really like this product.
Yeah.
It has really amazing battery life. Like they say it's 7 days, and I started using this 8 days ago, and it's still alive at 19%.
Yeah, I feel like I got the worst battery life of everybody I watched the reviews of.
What was yours
It's supposed
like?
to be 7 days, and I think I got to the end of day 6 and it was
Your
dead.
6-hour
really?
workouts a day probably are.
Well, I do like. I've been doing a lot of workouts too. I
I
don't know.
got mine at roughly 5 p.m. 5 p.m. yesterday, and it is now at 70%.
Whoa.
So it's
Did you charge it to full?
no, I unboxed it. It was at like 75%.
Oh,
and it is now-
that's important.
That's
context.
very
That's very important.
All right, Gemini over there.
Also, when you start a workout, there's just like a list, and it's just kind of it's not
Yeah.
that.
Are there no
built out.
favorites?
They should learn from Whoop here. You should be, as soon as you start doing workouts, it should put those favorites at the top.
Yes.
You start a workout and you're like, which type of workout is it? Well, it should have a small list of the most recent or most common workouts. The Apple Watch does that too. As soon as I go to make
Yeah,
a
go-
workout, it's like, oh, here's the most recent ones you've done.
Yeah.
That's like an easy
Or
thing
like
they
just
should
being
do.
able to customize it at least. And
Yeah. A couple
Yeah.
favorites in there.
Yeah.
That should be easy.
One last bug I had that I was able to fix by logging out and logging back in is that when I went to the friends and family section where you can like make friends and have leaderboards and stuff, it would just have a spinning dial and then it would go away and the whole screen would just turn black.
a lot. It seems like there were quite a few of those where like heart rate variability or something would like have the graph but not the number, and you'd have to log out
Yeah.
and log back in. It just seems like a lot of data points
Yeah.
go missing in the middle of the app.
But,
Side note,
yeah.
I completely forgot that was a thing. I am challenging you.
Oh,
guys
challenge me,
right
yeah.
now.
On the Fitbit?
Yeah, well, I'm crushing David Kogan and Sherilyn right now.
I
50,000 steps
Yeah,
for the
but
week.
Kogan has a whole coffee shop to run. That's cheating.
That's a lot of steps.
I know. Pretty good.
I have another bug that is
Oh, yeah.
probably more of a flex than a bug, but you get low heart rate notifications for anything under 50. So I just get them all day.
He's like, you're so relaxed.
Like low heart rate, low heart rate. Hey, if you're dizzier later, it's probably because of this. I'm like, it's not. It's fine.
This is how we find out Marques is actually always just napping in front of his computer, and none of us can tell.
It doesn't let me change what the low heart rate notification
Oh, really?
threshold. Oh, it doesn't let you go. Oh, you can change it
no,
to
yeah.
40.
Wait, hold on. Wait.
So
Can I
it
just-
should show that
Oh,
in the
okay, never mind.
notification.
Oh,
The
yeah. it
default is 50.
The default's 50,
And then it's
it says, "Would you like to
5.5.
dismiss?" And I'm like, "Yes." And then it just tells me again. Okay, so 40 is the lowest you get notification.
Okay.
Found a new bug. I can't add you guys.
Wait, does your spin does it have a black screen?
It just won't open up show phone contacts.
Yeah, these are on my low heart rate notifications.
Oh, there's
They're
a
all
show
for
phone contact?
40s. System.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of bugs. This is such a weird product because despite all the bugs, I still think it's a great value. It's so
It
weird.
is a great value.
Yeah, this is the
really good
weirdest
value.
I think this is proof that if you make a really good product and hopefully most of the bugs are software and you hope that they can fix them, is like, I still think this is great. I think I might get one. I think this blows Whoop out of the water. Obviously, I'm a certified Whoop hater, but my like take on this is if you want a screenless wearable, this is it for 99% of the people, and the 1% of people who want a Whoop, 99% of that 1%, you don't need the Whoop. You're just telling yourself you need the Whoop. The Fitbit is totally fine, and it's $100 for the rest of your life.
And you
I
don't
don't
need,
see any reason.
You don't really need the AI.
I don't think you need the
subscription
premium
either.
subscription.
And
at
Google
all.
is like, so now Google has a thing where if you have AI Pro or AI Premium, it also comes with YouTube Premium Lite for free,
you
and
got
it comes with Google
Premium
Health for free.
Lite? I didn't
Premium
know that was a
Lite,
thing.
yeah, it's a newer thing.
Okay.
Less ads.
I
Yeah, less ads.
and I think we need to give Google credit that they made a product that is really, really good without the subscription. And the subscription maybe gives you some super niche things, but like usually they're like, here's all the niche things, and we're gonna throw one or two
Right.
super critical things in there that you're actually paying a ton of money for, and we can make it super expensive because AI. But like
Here's like 99% of the things you
Yes.
would want are included.
are in the thing.
free.
I think
is-
most people should have
which is
this
amazing.
without the subscription.
That is what I think Whoop should do moving forward.
Yeah,
I
well-
think they should offer a bunch of stuff just by default for free. And then if you really want their hardcore tracking, which a lot of people do if you're getting a Whoop, then that's what you pay for.
Yeah, well, Whoop's too busy trying to give out a bunch of free memberships to Amex cards or whatever and
to pump their
IPO,
numbers.
but like,
Another big reason why I think the Fitbit is such a good deal is because it just exposes how bad of a deal the Whoop is right now.
yes, it also
Yeah.
it's half the thickness.
Yeah, it's
my
also smaller and thinner.
Narrower, yeah.
Just
Yeah,
the
I like
the
that.
comparisons on wrists is like, why would you ever wear the Whoop? This looks so much nicer. I haven't worn it yet. I think I am gonna. Get
I'm
one.
really excited for the third-party ecosystem that makes like bicep straps and like chest straps. and
Yeah,
stuff.
that was another thing I mentioned
happen
because there's a
so
ton of accessories for the others and the Whoop especially, but it's just the wristbands for this right now.
Yeah.
But obviously, being thinner and lighter and smaller, I feel like people are going to want to put this on the bicep or whatever, the chest strap. All the other accessories will be
because the
hopefully in the
actual
works.
puck on this is very, very tiny.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
it's great.
One thing
Yeah.
I've been thinking about is this isn't really a new product.
Nope.
No.
This is just a Fitbit.
Yeah.
I had this 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And they just released a new band and everyone's losing their mind.
No screen, no time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's-
Yeah.
Well, that's what happens when your competitor is scamming people, essentially.
Well, it's also funny that the original Fitbits didn't have screens, and then we slowly
That is
moved
really funny.
towards screens as wearables became more popular. Because then I was like, "Cool, smartwatches," and now everyone's like, notifications! I don't want
This
those."
new concept of a screenless wearable. Yeah.
Everything is a flat circle. So
Can I give my couple wishes for 2.0?
sure.
Because I think I am going to get one of these, but
Wait,
this is what I
Fitbit
want.
Air 2.0 or
Yes.
Google Health App 2.0?
Fitbit Air 2.0, because some of these are hardware things. No, maybe they could. Okay. I know I'm a broken record saying I want notifications. I think it has the vibration motor already. I
Wait,
think
for
it
the
can-
Air?
You want
For the Air.
notifications?
Notifications for a screenless
Don't
fitness tracker?
want
I just want to. Okay, all of you guys need to just let me say this.
Wait, okay.
Sometimes I just want to know if I have a phone call without it buzzing in my pocket.
But
So
then-
it should just, if it buzzes on my wrist, I have a phone call. That's so simple and so easy, and it can do it.
I guess that's okay.
Yeah,
can
easy.
do it.
Or the little notification thing just blinks. Then it's just like every once in a while, I'm like, oh, that's blinking on. It has an LED light that can blink.
Yeah.
That only blinks for pairing, right?
And battery.
And battery, but like that should be able to blink and just see like, cool, I have some text messages. I can look at my phone later.
Okay.
Seems super simple.
sure that's
The app live metric screen needs heart rate zones.
Yeah.
It would be really sick if in the future it had like a couple LEDs on the side that were different colors and could just show live heart rate zones on the side of the watch band.
Actually, close to a deal breaker for me that the live hit workout does not show you what heart rate zone you're
Yes. I think so many people, especially now, target heart rate zones during workouts,
Yeah.
especially cardio workouts.
Yeah.
Wait, even on the phone?
The phone
Yeah.
doesn't show the graph. It
that's
does show a
interesting.
heart rate, but it
shows
doesn't
your heart
show
rate,
zones
doesn't
and like
show the
the
zone.
or anything.
Okay.
And then this is so niche, but I use my watch so often to find my phone when I misplace it. So if there's some sort of a gesture that could make my phone ring,
Oh yeah.
that would be awesome.
That didn't go off by accident all the time.
That would be the biggest issue and probably why that will never happen.
Yeah.
But I'm yeah.
Yeah.
While we're wishing, give me Google Pay.
Google Pay would be cool.
NFC.
And it-
NFC thing.
No
like,
screen.
Oh,
Google
while we're,
Pay.
while we're adding things, how about a screen? And,
I just want to know the
Yeah.
time. I just want to look and see the time.
yeah. How about that?
I've gone past the I'm fine with it not having time.
Okay.
Cool. No time.
Random one last question. Do you think Apple should make a screenless fitness tracker?
Yes.
Alongside the Apple Watch?
Dude, if they made like a thin one, because Fitbit used to make like a thin sort of like stylish one. I think if Apple did that, it would be game over.
Initially, this is why I've been going so hard down this road, was because I wanted Apple specifically to make one, because I loved using the Apple Watch and Apple Health and everything, but I didn't like wearing an Apple Watch.
Yeah.
So I wanted just another little band, like the Nike Fuel band from back in the day. even though
I
that
think
thing was,
if you
like,
really want to
something.
cook Whoop, like they have all of the bones to make the ideal, like privacy focused, your data never leaves the device. You don't have to have a screen, but it's connected to your phone, obviously, because it's an Apple fitness tracker. So probably will tell you when you have notifications. But it'll also be the sleek one, the cool one. It'll be lightweight. It'll have a ton of accessories because it's Apple and everyone makes a bunch of accessories. They have the ability and potentially revamping the Google Health app with this new Apple Intelligence, obviously powered by Gemini, but potentially giving you some tips and stand hours, closing your rings, but maybe a little more personalization. They can do something like that.
Yeah.
But Apple Watch is Apple Watch.
Apple's always been big about the glanceable style too. So if you can just like see that someone's wearing an
the
Apple
little
fitness
little
tracker,
white knit band on everybody's wrist.
Yeah.
It's like
yeah.
I think
love
this
that.
Fitbit Air, one of the biggest things about it is we're already seeing Garmin potentially coming out with, like, I think this is starting to, like, guys, all of us make these sensors already. We can literally just make them
It's, like,
with
cheaper
less
to make
money.
Yeah.
Like, they're all realizing, like, we can make a ton of money off of this. And Whoop is probably not just scared of Fitbit, but
Yeah.
they're scared of the fact that everyone else realizes that they can make these.
There is still an opportunity, a market opportunity, and I've thought about making this, of someone making a watch band for regular watches that just happens to have the tracking sensors on the bottom of the watch band.
People have been, at least on my feed,
Yeah.
trying to do this already.
They've been slapping that on Whoops.
I've been tagged like 5 times
Yeah.
with pictures like that already.
But they look kind of bad, and also the sensors on the bottom when it's supposed to be on the top of your wrist. But if someone built it around the bottom of your wrist, be better.
I'm just not going to do a strength workout with a Omega Speedmaster.
No, I know, but like for the everyday tracking of that kind of stuff, heart rate stuff. One last thing, I have talked to a lot of regular non-techie people about this. The number one feature that made them actually excited to maybe possibly buy one of these is the fact that it can vibrate as an alarm.
Yes, I do really.
Alarm's nice.
Because if you
wrist alarm,
if you sleep in the same bed as another person and you don't want to wake them up with your alarm, just having that go off is really nice. Also, it has a feature where, because it's tracking your sleep, it'll detect when you come out of a sleep cycle.
Yeah.
And within a 30-minute area of variability, it will wake you up when it's an optimal time
That's
to
pretty
wake up.
common.
That's how I woke up this morning.
Alarms with trackers.
Yeah. Which I think the 8 Sleep does too. And when
Sleep,
it wakes
Garmin,
me up right as I'm coming out of sleep cycle, I'm like,
Yeah, but
Start levitating.
I immediately rolled over and went back to sleep. I was like, absolutely.
You look
not.
at the time, you're like,
20
20 minutes early, bro? What?
I feel
Yeah.
wrist alarms are awesome, except for you can be 10% awake and turn it off really
That was my
easily.
problem. It's so easy to dismiss by just tapping it. And that's not snooze, that's dismiss.
okay.
So it's gone.
Yeah.
So you got to be careful with
Well, a lot of regular people are very excited about that feature. So
Yes.
Anyway, I really, really can't wait until they make new bands for this, and I can, hide it and wear a normal watch. It'd be great.
For those of you who are wondering after my review if I've continued using the Fitbit, you might have noticed that I am holding the Fitbit, but I'm still wearing the Whoop and the Apple Watch. I am so torn about what I want to do about this. I don't know what I want to finish off my fitness journey with.
Whoop underwear.
They do make
I'm like
make that.
I'm deep into the calibration stuff with the Whoop.
What?
They make Whoop underwear.
They're like fitness tracking undies?
It's underwear that has a little special pocket to put the Whoop
It can
puck
fit
in
the
the underwear.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's messed up.
I was going to say, I think you should at least let Whoop's configuration figure
Yes.
I'm gonna
you out
I'll
first.
finish the rest of the full calibration or whatever. But I'm like, do I want to get rid of my Apple Watch? I really like being able to check the time on my wrist. It's super simple, and I really like getting notifications on my wrist. And I don't know if I can get rid of those two things.
Yeah.
But I also don't think I
I-
want to wear both of these. So
That's hard.
trying to
I
figure
think
it
you're
out.
going to stick with the Apple Watch.
I think that's most likely. I think honestly what's probably going to happen is I'll get to the end of the Whoop calibration, and then I'll look at the subscription apps for the Apple Watch that can do almost the same thing that Whoop is suing. So I know they're pretty close.
Yeah. People have been
That was-
talking about that. They've been saying that app that's getting sued by Whoop for having similar looking metrics apparently makes the Apple Watch basically a Whoop.
Yeah, they're pretty expensive. Apparently the
Athletic.
price has gone up. It's $100 a year for Bevel.
For Bevel.
Athletic is $30 a year. That is such a primo price for an app. It's
Yeah.
$2 or $3 a month.
Whoop has started to attempt to make their pricing better value. They added basically a Fitbod type workout tracker inside of the Whoop thing now, so we'll tell you what exercises to do in real time. Because I pay, I think it's $80 a year for Fitbod, so they need to add value. Because if they don't keep adding value like that, then it's a horrible deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing I hope most comes from all this is Whoop adjusting their hardware so that it's less of a thick band, and adjusting their subscription pricing, and maybe not being a brick if you unsubscribe.
That's the number one.
That would be nice.
for me. Okay, so you know how you can now just vibe code apps on Android instantaneously with the prompt? Mm-hmm. We have to vibe code a group competition for the Fitbit. Has to happen.
Should be just one prompt, right?
Why are we not already competing, actually? Because you know how many steps I have this week?
You're ducking the smoke, bro.
50,000. How many steps do you have?
Probably 51,000.
I'll see about that.
Can't verify it because I don't use a Fitbit.
But you did.
I did.
Wait, how many do you have? I'm actually curious.
I think I'd have to use the Apple Watch because that's the only one I've worn the last.
I can't tell if
7
this
days.
is still the Clips outro or now just a conversation. So like and subscribe.
Like and
See you
subscribe.
next week.
I'm legit curious, though.
That's perfect. Okay.